Hey there, we're back with a set of Blu-ray reviews for the latest Blu-rays I have received in the mail that I think are worth talking about, and we're going to kick it off with a little classic from 1988, Midnight Run. Midnight Run is from the director of Beverly Hills Cop. This has a similar vibe to that film where it's an action with comedy elements. Stars Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin, and also John Ashton, who played Taggart in Beverly Hills Cop, playing a bounty hunter in this. So De Niro plays a bounty hunter, Jack Walsh, and his assignment is to get a bail-jumping accountant, Jonathan, who is played by Charles Grodin, back to LA by midnight on Friday. But he has a lot of other people on the trail, and chaos ensues, comedic situations arise, and lots of action. Very fun film, very rewatchable, entertaining, lots of great lines. And this is the first release of it on Blu-ray, and I've got to say it's not the greatest, but it's certainly not as bad as some of the more passionate reviewers have been making out. And it is a huge leap up on the DVD, which is positively blurry and would look terrible on any kind of large 50-inch plus screen. This Blu-ray actually looks pretty good. It's a little flat at times, has a little crush here and there. Sometimes it looks like it's been scrubbed a little, but on the whole, the colors are pretty good, and it's definitely in high definition. What softens the blow, though, is it does have lossless PCM stereo sound and a whole set of pretty nice special features. It's got a really good interview with Charles Grodin, which I recommend. Another interview with Joe Pantoliano, of Sopranos and Memento fame. His interview I didn't enjoy as much, but it's not bad. And then another great interview with John Ashton from Beverly Hills Cop. And one with the screenwriter, which I haven't watched all the way through yet, and an audio interview with Yaphet Kotto, and as well as an original Making Midnight Run promo featurette. So, good little set of features, and all those video interviews were done especially for the set, so they're brand new, so it's nice and up to date, and definitely worth checking out. As far as the packaging, it's just pretty much just the disc there. It's an okay cover, but Midnight Run is a classic. I think it's still worth picking up. It's definitely an upgrade on your DVD, and it's probably not going to get much better treatment. This is Region B locked. I imagine if Region A get one, it's not really going to get much more love than this. It's not probably a big enough title for them to do much more with than they've done here. Next up we have Alfred Hitchcock's Sabotage, which is a film from his early British period of the 30s, 1936 to be in fact, and it's the last one of his 30s ones that I wanted to pick up. I've got The Lady Vanishes, The 39 Steps, and Young and Innocent, and this is the last one that I really like from that period, and it's now available on Blu-ray from ITV Studios. It's also Region B locked, I should mention, and it's a great little film based on the book Secret Agent. It's not called The Secret Agent because he'd already done a movie called The Secret Agent, which had nothing to do with this. So it's called Sabotage, and the picture, it's a very old film. There's probably not a lot of call for this film, even though it's a Hitchcock film. So the restoration, I'm not sure what went into it, but the negative is very flickery at the beginning. It does settle down a little bit later on. It does have some damage, but it's not overwhelming. There is some good depth, some good texture. Certainly looks like HD most of the time. Other than the odd judder and wobble, I think most people will be pretty happy with the presentation for a film of this ilk. And certainly looks better than what I remember the DVD looking like. The DVD would look terrible on a large screen. This looks pretty good. Has a few special features, an image gallery with posters and photos, etc., which is not bad, but the introduction with Charles Barr, a film historian, is good, and then a really good on-location featurette showing parts of the film and up against the locations as they are now. It's narrated and introduced by Robert Powell. So Good stuff. Peter Bogdanovich's Paper Moon, out on Blu-ray from Masters of Cinema, Eureka. It's a beautifully shot black and white film about a con man on the road with a young girl, and with Ryan O'Neal and his daughter Tatum O'Neal in the lead roles. Also a nice turn from Madeline Kahn in the film. Now, I love this film. The transfer is okay. I've only really seen it once before on DVD, and it looked okay. The Blu-ray, obviously has more detail and looks better on a big screen. This one here seems to have a lot of moving grain and a little bit of flicker at the beginning, and it comes and goes, but it's worse at the beginning of the film. And I'm not 100% sure about the color scheme on this, whether the color timing is right. It seems a lot grayer than I had seen it before. Perhaps it is correct, but I have no idea, to be quite honest. I am not that well versed in the history of Paper Moon and what it did look like and so forth, but I was expecting a slightly different look, but it's still a very pleasing look, and it's still the best it has looked definition-wise and in motion. Now, the film itself has optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, a full-length audio commentary with director Peter Bogdanovich, 3 video pieces on the making of the film featuring interviews and outtake footage, which are quite good. I haven't listened to the commentary yet, but the featurettes are quite good, and a 28-page booklet featuring a new essay on the film by Michael Brook. So we'll have a look at the... There's also a picture in behind there. Sorry, I've got some crazy light coming in through from outside. And I have this booklet, which is pretty extensive and pretty cool. I haven't read it yet, I've just looked through, but I look forward to reading it. Yeah, so all in all, nice set. Lastly, we're going to have a look at Jules Dassin's The Naked City, which is a good film, a bit different from Dassin's other ones. It's got a sort of weird photo documentary style throughout. Uses a lot of stock New York footage, which makes the appearance change throughout this high definition presentation, as the footage can be quite remarkably different. But it's a film noir, a crime film noir set in New York, and the transfer itself has a lot more lines and specs than I was expecting. But it's not really that distracting after a little while. It's, not the greatest looking transfer I've ever seen, but it's certainly better than the DVD. And it looks great in motion. It's a maxed out bit rate, and it flows very well. It looks very nice on a very large screen. Has some cool special features, audio commentary by screenwriter Malvin Wald. New York and the Naked City, a personalized history of New York City on the big screen by critic Amy Taubin. Jules Dassin at the LACMA, a 52-minute interview with Bruce Goldstein, which the director discusses his career. The Hollywood 10, a 1950 documentary short on the 10 filmmakers blacklisted from Hollywood for their refusal to name names before the House of Un-American Activities Committee, including Naked City screenwriter Albert Maltz. Gallery of production stills by photojournalist Ouija. Theatrical trailer and reversible sleeve, which I'll show you in a second, and collector's booklet containing new writings from Alistair Phillips, Barry Salt, Sergio Angelini, and illustrated with original production stills. So I'll just pop this out. This is the reverse sleeve, which is pretty cool. I might end up using that as the actual sleeve, and they're both pretty good. And here is the booklet, which is pretty cool too. Okay, so this is Region B locked also. All 4 titles today I've checked, and they're all Region B locked. So if you're not in the Region B area and you're interested in these titles, you really need to just bite the bullet and get that region free player, or at least buy 2 players, one for each region. I have a region free player and it's great, the Oppo player. So here's some goodness. Catch you soon.